Sound Art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of two products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound Art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Sound Art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it Sound Art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound Art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
2 races in and 2 drivers remain, all locked up to lead the standings after 2 high-speed rounds. Can they keep it up in the Ohio Bull Ring in Lima, Ohio? Welcome to the BRP iRacing series on PitStop TV. Andrew Cardinale with Trey Patton alongside Trey Shuttlesworth on our social media coverage this evening. And we are here at the very tight, although very wide, it's a very odd racetrack here in Limaland, Ohio. Trey, thanks for joining me this evening. We've seen a wild start to the season so far. We're back for week number 3 then of BRP iRacing series action. Joining you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter this evening. The first real bull ring added to the iRacing.com sim and now free to all iRacing members. Limaland now stands as proper proving grounds for more than just nearby University of Northwestern Ohio, and now for any dirt sim racer in the world, rookie or pro. It's going to be interesting this evening as we see BRP rookies and pros go at it, and I think honestly, given the first couple of rounds here in the BRP iRacing series, Trey, we've got to consider the possibility of maybe a BRP rookie going up there and grabbing tonight's win. What say you? I mean, I know you haven't been here the last couple of races. We had Joe Donahue for Volusia and Lernerville, but you know these guys decently well. You've had a chance to kind of look up and see how they've done the last couple of weeks. Do we see a rookie finally break through this evening?
Just looking through the field right now, I see Ryder Schroff. Obviously, we know Ryder from LTAC on Friday nights, and I see right now, he's currently sitting 6th in practice right now. He's got decent pace, currently on a racetrack that's pretty dead. So, I mean, he's got decent pace as of right now. I'm really anxious to see kind of how he's going to do right now. And really looking right now, I mean, a veteran we see up on top of the board right now, Corby Daniels, up on top right now by about 1,000th of a second. So he's doing really good. So I'm just really anxious to kind of see where it's going to go, seeing these newcomers and seeing some of the guys we already know, just kind of mix it up and we'll see what the dice rolls for us.
It's going to be an interesting one for sure. You mentioned Corby Daniels, pretty fast so far in practice. He has not won in the BRP iRacing series, at least while on PitStop TV. So that could be a first, at least for us, if not for the series, if he is able to get the job done this evening. Let's take a look at our point standings coming into Limaland. And you might recall last week, Travis Miller, Maxime Plant, they were tied in reverse order. There was actually a small scoring error. They were actually just a couple of points apart. And after last week, now they are tied at 98 points apiece with a win each. I mean, this is insane how 2 races in, these two end up tied. They each have a win. They've had almost equal performances these last couple of weeks. Very, very interesting. And they started to leave the rest of the field by just a little bit. You see 11 points back to Earl Jackson, 22 back to Gavin Eisel, 24 to Brett Fisher. That's your top 5. Then it's the big show. Randy Giroux celebrated his 20th birthday last week at Lernerville. And you got Hunter Holberg in 7th, Hunter Reeve in 8th, Alan Slight in the 9th spot, and Jamie Porter breaking into the top 10 for the first time, at least that I've seen, that I recall seeing here in the BRP iRacing series since picking up coverage. So a lot has changed this season. We see names like Hunter Holberg, Randy Giroux, even Gavin Eisel up into the top 10, even into the top 5. Jamie Porter can be added onto that list, and rookies, I think, certainly making up a solid portion of this list. There's 4 rookies in this top 10: Earl Jackson, Brett Fisher, Hunter Reeve, and Alan Slight.
Yeah, just looking here, I mean, as I mentioned before, mixing it up a little bit. I mean, obviously, we know Travis Miller and Maxime Plant. We follow these guys. We know they're quick. Earl Jackson, a rookie. We don't really know what he's got going here, but, he's already 3rd in points. He's being consistent, 11 points back. If he can get a good run tonight and mix it up with Travis and Maxime tonight, he may be up in the mix for the championship run early on here in round 3.
And of course, this is just a few races into 13 on the season. Let's take a look at our season schedule. 40 laps each. It doesn't matter where we go. We'll have 40 laps of racing action, which is good. I've said it before these last couple of races. I like having the standardized race distance. You see Knoxville next week in Iowa, then Brazelton, Georgia down at Linear Raceplex on May 17th. May 24th takes us to Bristol Motor Speedway. May 31st, we'll go to Weedsport, then Eldora, Cedar Lake, Kokomo, and USA make up our June portion of the schedule. And into July, we race at Fairbury American Legion Speedway and Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's going to be a very interesting schedule. A lot of the same tracks that you usually see, but these pro late models are a bit different from what we've had so far. Let's take a look at some of these drivers in their last few minutes of practice. Brett Fisher, he's on the racetrack, currently third quickest as well. This 21 car might have something for him up top, and we don't have a single winner in this top 3 currently in practice, which is interesting to me. The fact that Maxime Plant and Travis Miller are a little ways further down the list. Now, Miller, he sits in 4th currently, but Maxime Plant a little bit troublesome down there in 10th. We'll see how that changes, obviously, from practice into the race. Here is Travis Miller, though. He's got a brand new paint on that 22 car. It's looking fabulous. That is a nice metallic red, and actually, if Corby Daniels gets back out there, he's got a new paint as well, and it also looks pretty solid.
Yeah, just from covering, I mean, the last couple times, these guys always have some pretty killer paint schemes. Just from covering these guys, I always enjoyed just coming in and week out and just seeing what new liveries these guys had in their cars, because it's always just something to look at. Because watching these guys go around and around, it just gives you, it makes it more interesting rather than just watching some dirt sling. It gives you, it's more of an appeal, I guess, is the better word for it.
You can see the metallic blue there on the number 88 of the Beef, Corby Daniels, as he works around a few laps in practice. Maxime Plant, talked about him a little bit. He is currently just sitting in the pit lane. He's turned a few laps, turned plenty of laps, I'm sure, so far, but not currently on the racetrack. Here's Randy Giroux, though, as he rips the top side, and it's going to be interesting to watch the lines of this racetrack change. Of course, dirt on iRacing, it is modeled to be quite realistic, and the line does move. The preferred groove will move around, the cushion will build up on the wall, and you'll even see some loose dirt coat the middle groove, I think, tonight. That seems to be the trend here with the dirt on iRacing, especially at Limaland, is you get the top and the bottom, the middle is kind of a no-go zone, and you get a lot of loose dirt.
Yeah, I'd say really one of the no-go zones, I think, just from kind of what I've seen. I've seen a couple guys try to run the bottom. As you kind of see here as an onboard, you see those tires sticking out of the ground down in the down on the bottom. So you don't want to run too far down, because that's just going to upset the car. And then, you upset the car on one of these, and, you're just going to go up the track and collect and probably get into that wall.
I'm noticing a driver in the field for the first time this season, the 196 of Richard Pereira, making his first start of the season so far. Patrick Reiser is out here as well. He's not on the racetrack currently, but he has joined us. I see Hunter Reeve is in the session. We have Tanner Correa out there. So a lot of the same new names that we've come to know these last couple of weeks, they've shown up. Ryder Schrauf is out here this evening. Let's take a look at his machine as he sits 6th. This so far in practice. Just a couple of minutes left. In fact, 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in this practice session before we go into qualifying and then heat racing. And if you're just joining us for the first time, possibly with the BRP iRacing series, well, let's take you through that heat format. These guys, of course, hey, they have this period of practice, then they run into qualifying, 2 laps, 5 minutes, pretty standard stuff, before running up to 4 8-lap heat races this evening. Looking at the car count, it looks like we can expect 3 heat races as, wow, Ryder Strauss and somebody into orbit. That was Jamie Porter. But we can expect exactly 3 heat races this evening. We're not quite going to have them filled up. We're not going to send anybody home. It will essentially just be qualifying races. If we had more than 26 cars, though, we would go into consolation racing. We could have 2 of those, 10 laps apiece. 5 would transfer on, and I should mention as well, 4 would transfer on out of each of the heat races. 5 then from the consolation makes a total of 26 maximum. The feature, always going to be 40 laps there again. So a very standardized format. We know what to expect. These drivers, more importantly, know what to expect, and it's the same week in, week out.
Yeah, having a more standardized thing, just knowing what you're going to come into is going to be a lot better for these guys, because I know the last season, it was kind of here and there, and at least for us up here, it makes it a lot easier for us. And I know, especially having it formulated like that for the drivers, it's a lot easier and a lot more comfortable, I guess.
So as practice winds down, 30 seconds left to go in this session. Let's remind everybody about some of the amazing people that allow these broadcasts and all these races in general to happen. Bicknell Racing Products, of course, the namesake of the BRP iRacing series. Matt DeRitter Designs, Jam Performance, Costco Haulage, and Miller's Auto Detailing put in their hard work week in, week out to allow us to have these fantastic BRP iRacing series events. So getting ready to roll into qualifying then, and we shall see who sets our quick time of the evening. And whoever does set pole time this evening will get 2 extra bonus points, and that's been consistent over the last couple of seasons, but that is going to be ever more important, especially with a tie atop the point standings going into this evening. It's kind of like a reset then for Maxime Plant and Travis Miller. We'll see if either one of them can take pole and already start out 2 points up on the other. Rolling into qualifying then, waiting for the first couple of cars to get on the racetrack, here is Adam Hilton. Looks like he'll be the first one out.
Adam Hilton rolling out onto the back straightaway here, going for his first time lap, on an onboard right here, getting those tires up to temp here, and here we go, coming across the line, going to the turn number 1. You see him kind of running that middle line right now, trying to figure out where he needs to go. He's going to get up right up on the top right here and just kind of run right down in the middle lane here. Coming out of turn number 4 across the stripe here for his first time lap.
And he goes quickest first. Of course, he's the first one to turn a time, but Travis Miller then goes a lot quicker. Somewhere in the tune of 0.03 of a second, and that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you're turning 12-second laps straight, that is an eternity as Miller goes and completes his second lap, and he will stay on pole as more times come in. Ryder Schrauf across the line, Corby Daniels as well. More drivers coming through. Tyler Pachalski, he's on the racetrack. We'll see what he can do. Correa goes up to 9th. So a lot of these drivers getting their times in quick. A few might wait a little bit longer in this session. In fact, Maxime Plant is just now rolling out onto the speedway.
Yeah, Maxime Plant, we expect him to be pretty quick. We're going to see what exactly he has in store for the field tonight. You see him running right up on that cushion right here on his out lap. He's going to go across right here for his first time lap. He's running that top lane. I see a lot of these guys not really running the top. They're kind of running the middle here, so he's staying up top this entire lap right here. See, he's going to be right on that cushion. You're right here, coming out of turn 4, coming for his first time lap. That's going to put him
P7. And you see him drop immediately to the bottom of the racetrack as well, Trey. That's because, of course, he ran up top that first time around to get a good run out of 4 and start his second lap with a lot more momentum. There we go, and it pays off. He goes 4th quick. Hunter Reeve on the speedway now as well. And we'll see what the 44 can do. But currently, it's looking like Travis Miller will walk away with those couple of extra bonus points. And that's big in the grand scheme of things. Of course, we've seen NASCAR championships come down to 0 points. So 2 points is going to be very, very important for Travis Miller. And of course, these drivers get points for the heat races as well. You get 4 for winning the heat, on down to 1 for finishing 4th. So finishing up front is going to matter in these heat races.
Yeah, every point matters, and especially now that everybody, nobody's going home tonight. So, finishing well in your heat, trying to win the heat, and then trying to get every position that you can in the feature tonight. It's going to matter. Every position matters. Every point matters. And especially, up with Maxime Plant and Travis Miller right now, those 2 points for Travis right now is really going to help project him if he can even win his heat race and then go along to win the feature tonight.
Hunter Reeve sending that car for a spin on the inside of the racetrack as qualifying wraps up. We'll move straight on in then to our first heat race of the evening. And it looks like we're not going to have 3 heats. We're going to have 2 heats, 9 cars apiece. This is going to change things up. I think the allowances for maximum cars was a little bit different than I'd expected. So we have 2 heats this evening. Let's take it through your first starting grid. Starting first, inside row number 1 of heat number 1, it's Travis Miller with their fastest time of qualifying. That's good for 2 bonus points for him. So he's already up to a perfect 100 so far, and 2 points then ahead of Maxime Plant. Jamie Porter, he will start second here in heat number 1, starting third in this first heat. Ryder Schrauf in the 058. Corby Daniels, the beef, to his outside, starting 4th. Starting 5th, Tanner Correa in the number 11. The Big Show, Randy Giroux, rolls off 6th. Starting 7th, it's Hunter Hulberg. Starting 8th, it's Tyler Pachalski. And rounding out the field here in heat number 1, it is Gavin Eisel.
Looking here, just the field in heat number 1, they've got a pretty decent field here. It's stacked up really well. You got Travis Miller, Jamie Porter, guys we know in this series. Corby Daniels was very fast in practice. We see he's going to be rolling off 4th here. Then you got Randy Giroux, Holberg, Pachalski, Correa. I haven't seen much of him. I think he's a rookie. I'm really kind of anxious to see what he's going to do here in this heat, but you're rolling off a turn 4, going to the green flag here, Andrew.
And Travis Miller working that bottom side. Jamie Porter on the outside now. They stay side by side into turns 3 and 4, and Porter's going to have the whole shot out of turn 4 and across the line to lead lap 1.
Across the line there, or going into turn number 2, looks like Porter's taking the lead there. Travis Miller not far behind. Corby Daniels right up on against the back bumper of Travis Miller. Corby Daniels setting the hot time at heat number 1 right now.
Daniels goes fastest with those 4 points-paying positions so far, going to Jamie Porter, Travis Miller, Corby Daniels, and Randy Giroux. And actually, that battle a little further back, Randy Giroux, he has separated himself from the rest of the crew here. Tyler Pachalski, Gavin Eisel, and the rest falling back. And wow, we've had a problem here for Ryder Schrauf. He has turned around. He is slow on the bottom side of the front stretch. A little more contact on the front stretch from these leaders. And it's Travis Miller, Jamie Porter still fighting things out. Oh, and Corby Daniels hard on the outside wall.
Yeah, Corby up into the outside wall. You see a lot of that time we lost. Now Randy Giroux trying to get up against the left side of Corby Daniels there. Not quite going to get it yet. Looking up further ahead now. Jamie Porter pulling on Travis Miller as we come to 2 laps to go here in heat number 1.
Popsicle sticks in heat 1. Randy Giroux's got something, I think, here for Corby Daniels. It's a matter of if he can make it happen into 3 and 4. He's going to look low. This is going to be important for those midfield points battles. Can't quite make it happen, but Corby's just beating that wall down. And at some point, it's got to give. Into turns 3 and 4, though, for the final time in heat 1. And Jamie Porter wins the first heat race of the night at Limaland.
What a drive there from Jamie Porter. I mean, I honestly thought Travis Miller was going to pull away with that one. So good for Jamie for exceeding my expectations. They're doing a really good job, but we're going to roll straight off into heat number 2.
Absolutely, that's huge for Jamie Porter. Adam Hilton going to lead us to the green flag here in heat number 2. That is going to be Maxime Plant starting outside of the first row. Starting 3rd, it'll be Brett Fisher. 4th, Hunter Reeve in the 44. Starting 5th, it'll be Alan Slight. Earl Jackson will start 6th. Starting 7th in Heat 2, it'll be Richard Pereira. Starting 8th, it's Dean Meitzler. Starting 9th in the second heat, Patrick Reiser. And we are going to do something right quick. We're going to go side by side for just a moment before we rejoin you guys for the start of heat number 2. Don't go anywhere. We will have action for you momentarily.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Sound Art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it Sound Art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound Art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker.
And just like that, we're ready to go heat racing for the second time this evening. 8 laps the distance like usual. Adam Hilton will lead us to the green flag here momentarily. The pace truck will pull down to the inside and will leave the field to it as we get ready to go green for the second time this evening. You see the 3 cars slow on the bottom, waiting, green flag, but he gets jacked up from behind. Brett Fisher was ready.
Yeah, Brett Fisher was ready and on the gas pedal, ready to go. Maxime Plant right up against the wall. Hilton gets a little sideways, and he goes around.
We've got a big junk here in heat number 2. Caution flag is going to fly. Boy, that was a big one.
Yeah, 3 cars around with that. We're gonna get a view of that. Get a view of the wreck here. We're gonna take a look and see exactly what happened going into turn number 3.
Some big problems, that's for sure, and we're going to watch this whole start back as caution laps will count in this heat. That's going to shorten things up a little bit for these guys as that they're well, qualifying positions, basically. These are basically qualifying races. So what happens here on this restart? Is it from Brett Fisher or Maxime Plant? And oh, Adam just throws the car in sideways, and Fisher, I don't think he's in any way at fault for that. That, I think, is just unfortunate.
Yeah, that was just kind of one of those things. You know, he was there. The car got thrown in sideways. This was not an ideal situation to be there at all. And unfortunately, just got caught up in that. We're going to go on board with Brett Fisher right here on the start to see. You're going to see going into turn 3 and 4 here. You're going to see how quick he got onto the gas.
So Fisher waited right there. You see these guys just being ready, trying to anticipate that start. And then into 3, you're going to watch the number 3 car, oddly enough, just throw that car sideways. And man, he just got crossed up.
Yeah, that's just rather unfortunate, but it's just one of those racing deals. Meanwhile, we are back green here in heat number 2. And Maxime Plant leading the way here as we come to 2 laps to go here in heat number 2 across the stripe this time.
Already on to lap 7 then. And Maxime Plant starting to walk away. That's how quickly laps just walk away in these heat races with a yellow. Suddenly, we're already on the white flag lap. 1 time back around this quarter mile for Maxime Plant. Hunter Reeves, 2nd place. Earl Jackson, 3rd. Alan Slight in 4th. And the battle is on behind. Maxime Plant will walk out of turn number 4. A heat race winner. Hunter Reeves takes 2nd. Earl Jackson, 3rd. And the rest cross the line. Alan Slight grabs that 4th point.
That's really good there for Maxime Plant. So now he's able to minimize that gap to Travis Miller now. And with that being said, we're staging ready now for our 40-lap feature.
It all happens very quickly here in the BRP iRacing series. No warm-ups, no nothing like that. It just, I mean, we are straight, quick fire right into another race. It's pretty crazy how quickly it goes. So we will walk you through your starting grid for Limaland. It's the 3rd race on the season. It's starting on pole. Jamie Porter. How about those kind of honors for the driver of the 45? Maxime Plant, though, will roll off 2nd place in front of championship rival Travis Miller. So Miller has the points advantage from the pole time, but Maxime Plant is starting ahead. Hunter Reeve will start 4th place this evening. Starting 5th will be Corby Daniels in the 88 car. The 58 is outside. Earl Jackson starting 6th. Starting 7th, though, Randy Giroux, the big show, on the inside of row 4 with Alan Slight, newcomer, on his outside. Starting 9th this evening, Hunter Hallberg, Wild Bill, inside of Brett Fisher in the number 21.
Starting 11th, we have Gavin Eisel in the 18 car to his outside. We have the 196, Richard Pereira. 13th, we have the 121 of Tyler Pachalski, to his outside. The 3 of Adam Hilton. 15th, we have Tanner Carrera in the 11 car to his outside. And 16th, we have Dean Meitzler. 17th, we have Ryder Schrelf in the 058. And starting 18th, not currently on the racetrack, we have Patrick Reiser.
18 cars this evening. If Reiser makes it out onto the grid for this one, he hasn't made it out for his heat race. We'll see if he opts to start this feature event this evening. 40 laps the distance as per usual. We are ready to go green flag racing from the Limaland Speedway. Fans of the BRP iRacing series, I hope you're ready. This is going to be a wild one this evening. I have no clue quite how this one's going to go. But Jamie Porter will lead us to the first feature green flag. Actually, that was a bit of a weird start. He waited and went middle of the racetrack there, but they get things rolling.
Yeah, he went to the middle of the racetrack there. I saw Travis Miller kind of go down to the inside. Looked like he was going to get that jump there, but he decided it was better than that. Didn't want to risk a penalty there, but they're side by side going into 1 here on lap number 2.
And down the backstretch, Porter's got company. Here comes Plant to the outside. And the 79 high, wide, and handsome. Miller almost gets him in the left rear.
Yeah, Miller slid way up there, but looks like he's going to take the top time right now. But
big
man,
contact,
he's into
Hunter
the wall.
Reeve. They sorted out. That was incredible. Hunter Reeve, Travis Miller, a lot of contact. Giroux's getting tangled up. We stay green for now. On to lap 4.
Yeah, Giroux almost got sent down to the pits there, but you see they're almost 3 wide. A huge gaggle of cars back there, but meanwhile, side by side for the lead. Jamie Porter's still going to have the lead.
Maxime Plant working the top side. Porter slides that 79 to stay out front. Caution comes out, and we get checked up for the first time in our feature race this evening. I would imagine Ryder Schrelf potentially in this one, given that he is slow on the racetrack. We'll take a look back and see what happens possibly to the 058 this evening. There was a lot going on, and maybe it wasn't Hunter. It actually could have been this slow 99, I think, on the inside. This could be the reason for it. It's hard to say, but that was, I think, the slowest car that I saw at the time. I didn't see, it could have also been Meitzler. Let's take a look at it.
We're going to take a look and see what happened with Dean Meitzler.
Oh, I've just found it. It's going to be Brett Fisher.
I think I saw Brett Fisher got spun around, I believe. Yep, there it is.
That's the tail end of things, but fortunately these caution flags, as we learned in that second heat, don't really allow us to take much of a look back at some of these incidents, so we'll move straight on then into our caution flag period. These guys getting doubled up, so I think that's perfect timing. Jamie Porter will lead us back to the green flag. Maxime Plant on his inside. So Porter opting to take that outside line for our first restart of this feature event. You see Reeve has fallen back a little bit. Corby Daniels in the mix. And that shiny 58 car, Earl Jackson, another rookie up there. As we go back green flag racing, Jamie Porter, a great launch.
Yeah, Jamie Porter had a great launch there out of turn 4. You saw he was on that angle, on the embankment there up on the cushion, and we have a caution on the speedway here. We're going to check out and see what happened. Looks like
Brett Fisher already, well, again, I should say. Richard Pereira is also involved in this, and it's going to actually happen, well, Richard Pereira is going to cause this for himself, just about. I hate to put it that way, but he's going to end up running into the back of Corby Daniels momentarily. So watch the shiny blue 88 topside and the black and red 196, and Pereira just drives square into the back of him, and Hilton sends him up and over. I mean, that's, wow.
Yeah, up and over. I mean, there's no getting back over from that, so he's going to have to tow. That's rather unfortunate there for Pereira, but it's just kind of one of those things. It doesn't take much to send these cars up and over, and we're going to get another view at this wreck here.
We're going to focus on Corby Daniels this time. Again, that shiny blue 88. And he's just going to get hit from behind. I don't think he was even extra slow in 1 and 2. He just gets hit, and I mean, look at this pile up. Correa in it, Meitzler down there, and wow, Daniels gets picked up and carried by Hilton. What an incredible wreck.
Right into the driver's side, too. I mean, that would have been a hard hit if that was in real life, so thankfully this is a sim.
I agree with that one. Back green flag racing just like that. It happens quick here at Limaland, and Jamie Porter working the top side. Maxime Plant digging down low. Doesn't find anything yet, but he's got speed. We'll see if he can get on by that 45, but here comes Travis Miller on the outside, and boy is he thrilling this evening.
Or wide further on back there, but man, Jamie Porter on fire. Maxime Plant not letting him get away easy. Here comes Travis Miller trying to get up in the mix.
These guys just will not quiet down up front, completing lap 8 that time through. And Jamie Porter, he's got fire in a bottle this evening. I don't know where this speed has come from, but he's just got something working for him. He's working that top side. You see him in the cockpit right there. He has got something working for him. Leading this race still. He's led every lap thus far. Maxime Plant still trying to get on by now, side by side for second. The thriller Travis Miller on the outside of the gentleman.
Yeah, I thought Travis was about to hit the wall right there where it juts out, but he was able to make that pass work, using the top side to his advantage. Looking back here, you see Hunter Reeve going on by Earl Jackson there, and Slight also up in the mix there.
Now that 2 car of Alan Slight he's working up. These 3 all rookies of the series. Earl Jackson works on by Hunter. Hunter Reeve from Operation Motorsport now caught 3 wide into 3.
Yeah, a lot of action going on here. Gavin Eisel also trying to get up into the mix here. This is really, really tight racing going on for about the 4th spot right here.
This is fantastic stuff through the entire field. Gavin Eisel, you mentioned it, working that top side. He's got something going on as well. He's going to work maybe to the inside of the Operation Motorsport 44 car. Not quite yet. It looks like Slight's going to occupy that position. You still see those guys battling up ahead. This is I'm going to knock on wood as I say this, a fantastic little run so far. This is amazing stuff, watching these guys battle side by side.
Yeah, these guys are doing a spectacular job. This is what we come to see when we expect. This is what we expect to see, rather, when we come, watch the BRP iRacing series. These guys are a class act. These guys do a fantastic job week in and week out. And this right here is an incredible product. As we're watching Maxime Plant and Travis Miller battle side by side here for the 2nd spot.
Working closer to halfway, Plant slides up to the top side in front of Travis Miller. They're starting to eat back into that lead of Jamie Porter. The 45 faltered a little bit that time through 1 and 2. You gotta wonder if the track is starting to work away from the driver of the 45. He's gonna have to be careful as this race goes on. Caution flag. And it's Alan Slight. We were just watching him.
I'm not quite sure what happened there, but you see he was turned around in the middle of the corner. We're going to take a look and see what happened there, but that's definitely going to hurt Jamie Porter there, just eating up at his run. So you see him going side by side there. Oh, just gets clipped.
Thankfully, that's a pretty calm incident, given the first couple. That one stayed pretty tame. Just a little tap from Eisel, and he was around. I'll take that any day over the first couple of incidents. We were seeing cars going flipping, and that's never fun, be it sim or real.
No, it's not fun at all, especially, you know, when you're here trying to get as much points as possible and getting in an incident that early. I mean, no one likes getting in incidents, but especially within the first, 5 laps of the race.
So, lap 18 then, and we'll complete that lap as Reiser is on the racetrack, some 8 laps down. Wonder if he had something going on. Of course, in the real world, as we often see with some of these sim drivers, of course, the real world takes precedent. We all have it happen sometimes. So I'd imagine that has kept the 33 from starting this evening. But Jamie Porter, what a show he's put on. And I know this is somebody that Joe Donahue loves to keep his eye on for good reason as well. Got his first heat race win towards the end of last season, I believe at Knoxville, and just kept improving from there in the big block mods. We didn't see a lot of him in the 360 sprints the first season we covered with these guys, but ever since those big block mods a season ago, he has just turned up the wick, especially this evening. This is fantastic stuff from Porter. We'll see when he opts to restart. There he goes, rolling off that top side. The cushion helping him out a little bit. And suddenly Earl Jackson's in this mix. Can he go third place the third week in a row?
We're seeing it here, the battle, almost side by side there for the lead, but they were side by side. There they are again. Earl Jackson trying to get up in the mix there. I mean, he's going to be putting the pressure on to Maxime Plant here very soon.
See him working in the backstretch now is Maxime Plant. I mean, he is there on Jamie Porter. He has got that 45 car in his sights down the front stretch now as well. You see how close it is for the race lead. Plant working the bottom, though. He's been pretty good at it so far. He seems to be good. No matter where you put him on the racetrack now, he's going to work high.
Just past halfway here, coming out of turn number 4 here at Limaland Speedway. Here we see the back from the bumper cam of Jamie Porter. You see Maxime Plant all over the bumper bar there, just trying to see and edge out as much room as possible, trying to find the most grip on the racetrack. Not quite getting there yet, but man, he is all over him.
Maxime Plant, I mean, he is simply there. It's a matter of time until he makes a move and maybe throws a slider here on the 45 car for the race lead. Loving what we're seeing from Jamie Porter. This could suddenly move him into talks for a championship. I know it's a bit early, obviously, in the season, but we've got to talk about it, right? This 45 car, he's got something this evening. Now, Maxime Plant going to go down low, see what he can find down there. For a moment, he noses ahead, but the run off the top side keeps Porter up in the lead. Maybe not. Slide job. Oh, Maxime, no! It's far too early for that. Earl Jackson goes on by. That was
right
not
there.
very gentlemanlike. And now Miller does it.
Oh, that's not what you want to see, but man, if I'm Earl Jackson, that's exactly what I want to see right there.
So Jamie Porter has just been taken from the race lead and shoved to 4th place. That was aggressive. I think that was just a little bit too early, but they'll keep on racing. Porter's still in this. He's not out. Miller on the outside. Plant through the middle. Porter down low. They're trying to figure things out. They all go high that time by. Hunter Reeve is in this conversation as well. He's in 5th.
Yeah, looking back there, Hunter Reeve having a really good run here. Just a lot of that move, man. It's just really embedded in my mind. Like, I don't blame him for the move, but I do think it was a little bit early for that. You see, just getting a little bit upset there. Maxime Plant trying to work on Travis Miller for that 2nd spot now. But man, just you see, he's just trying to make that bottom come in, trying to make that slide job work, and he's just not quite there.
But how about the move then by Earl Jackson to miss all of that and go on through to the race lead? 10 laps to go. He blinks out a little bit right there, but stays up in the race lead. This could be huge for the driver of the 58. He has finished 3rd the last 2 weeks at Volusia and Limaland. Sorry, not Limaland, Lernerville last week in Pennsylvania. This could be earth-shattering for the season for the 58. He's got a couple of the best, though, bearing down the couple of race winners from the last couple of weeks. Travis Miller last week at Lernerville, Maxime Plant 2 weeks ago at Volusia. They are there.
I mean, we were talking about what do these rookies have in store? Well, we're looking right now. He's leading the race, but man, Travis Miller not far away here.
I've never seen two cars throw a slide job at the same time, but golly, they tried. Earl Jackson has a mirror full right now. There's the 79, still working the bottom side. Plant's got something digging down there. Miller still working the top. Can Plant get there?
Looking there, he's not going to quite have it. Just side by side there at the line. This battle is heating up. You see Plant working that bottom. He's going to edge him right there, but man, that top side just got the momentum coming out of the corner. 3 wide again. Plant does not clear him. Seems like he's stronger in 1 and 2. He's going to try this time as we take 5 laps to go. Earl Jackson still up there. Plant tried to clear up. You've got a car there, buddy. 4 laps to go this time by. This is
he's gonna have it out of 2.
Yeah, I think he's got that now.
Oh, yeah, he tried. This is great.
Yeah, he's making that bottom where. Oh, he upset the car a little bit. That's gonna go to Earl Jackson right here out of 4.
3 laps to go. Can Earl Jackson hang on? 3 more trips around, 3/4 of a mile. We're now gonna have a half mile this next time by. Popsicle 6 out of turn 4.
Earl Jackson having the drive of his life right now, holding off 2 of the series best right now. 2 laps to go, coming to the white flag this time. This is Earl Jackson's moment.
Travis Miller's going to drop down to the inside through the middle again. He's trying to dig. Plant's falling back. He's out of this battle for the race lead. But Miller down to the inside. The Thriller takes the lead. Jackson crosses him up. Down the backstretch, Earl Jackson's got the lead, and he is going to win at Limaland. Maybe not. It's a drag race. Who gets it?
Oh, that was really close.
Earl Jackson.
Wow.
8/1000ths of a second.
Unreal.
Have you ever?
Oh my. Wow.
That is incredible. 8/1000ths of a second. That's as close as you can possibly get in dirt racing. And where Maxime Plant came from, I will never know. He was dropped out of that race with a lap left. He was falling way too far back, I thought, to have a shot. And suddenly, back in it, drags Earl Jackson to the line and is just a hair width, a half a hair width too shy to get the race win. That is incredible. 8/1000ths of a dirt track, or sorry, 8/1000ths of a second on a dirt track. That is insane. Travis Miller, he'll take 3rd. Jamie Porter recovered for 4th. Hunter Hulberg 5th. We'll go through the full results here in a little bit. But we will step aside and we'll be right back with post-race coverage. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Don't go anywhere. This is PitStop TV continuing coverage of the BRP iRacing series.
Sound Art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it Sound Art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound Art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas, and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Welcome back to the virtual Lima, Ohio, the Limaland Motorsports Park. I've never seen such an epic race, I'm going to be honest. We were talking about it the entire time we were away there, myself and Trey Patton, as we queue up our 4 post-race interviews. We'll just say that. That was epic. I've never seen such a fantastic battle come down to the wire and have so many different layers to it, much like a cake. I mean, that was the best race I've ever seen at Limaland Motorsports Park. My friends watching this evening for the BRP iRacing series, you were treated to a special one. And these drivers, they had something figured out. We'll talk to all 4 of our top 4 finishing drivers. Then we'll lead off with our race winner. And Earl, it did not always look like you were even going to get a podium. You were sitting back waiting for your opportunity, and suddenly it was handed to you nice and hot on a plate. How did you capitalize?
I honestly couldn't even tell you. Max threw a slider there. It was like lap, I don't know, somewhere a little after halfway, and it kind of crossed those 2 up. So I just dove it down and kicked them off the bottom, and just basically rode the high line the rest of the way. And was just praying to God that I wouldn't smack the wall too hard and screw the car up too bad.
Now, after seeing that first slide job from Plant kind of not go the right way and back up the driver that he threw it on, what were you trying to do to try and defend up top? I mean, he very nearly had you cleared.
Yeah, I was just hoping I could ride the momentum off the top side. It seemed like I could carry him coming off the corner. He was beating me pretty easily into the corner. I was kind of expecting him to try to throw another slider, in all honesty, and he never did. I seen him down there a couple times. I seen Travis peek down there, and then when Travis threw the slider there on the last lap, I cut it to the left and hoped to God I could get some bite off, and that I wouldn't hit Max trying to dive underneath him and wreck all 3 of us there.
Speaking of that slider in 1 and 2 that set up for an epic final lap, as we actually watch how you got the race lead in the first place on the broadcast here. Obviously, the slider, it had to be coming from Travis on that final lap. It happens in 1 and 2. You cross him back up. What happened, though, in 3 and 4? And how about that drag race to the line?
Yeah, it was it was pretty wild. I don't know if I just mashed the gas too hard coming off, trying to beat Max just in case, or maybe even Travis bumped me there a little bit. I don't really know, honestly. I kind of felt like I could hear Max down there somewhere, and I was just more or less hoping I could beat him back to the line and not have to worry about it. But regardless, it was going to be a hell of a finish, that's for sure.
It was epic. And at the top of the show, I raised the question, can a rookie break through this evening? You've done so this evening. 2 third-place finishes, a win now. You are a championship contender. How do you go into Knoxville? I know it's still way early in this season, but you are now a top contender in this late model series. How do you go into the rest of the season?
I'm just honestly just trying to make it to the last like quarter of the race or so and stay out of trouble and avoid, if there's any spins or anything, which tonight was actually really good. First couple weeks were a little rough, but I think it's kind of be expected first couple weeks in the league with drivers that not really race around each other that much. But yeah, after qualifying, I actually messaged my teammates Randy and Hackett and Justin, and I was extremely frustrated, more or less like, why the hell do I even do this? Because I qualified. So I'm a horrible qualifier. Always have been. I have no idea why. And they just told me to more or less keep my head on straight, just try to stay out of trouble. So definitely got to thank those three for kind of keeping my mindset going the right way.
Well, I love the new paint that you've got out there, the shiny 58. It looks fantastic. It ran fantastic tonight. Congratulations on this race win. I think some more are to come, but who makes it happen for you? Who helps you out on that 58 car? Who do you have to thank?
First, I want to thank Randy for, he actually just painted this for me. He finished it up last night. I didn't even say anything about it. He just, I don't know, pretty much more or less a lookalike car to his, a little bit different paint job. Orange and blue, my favorite colors, so that's what I rolled with. I want to thank Kyle Windsor, Redneck Race Chasers, a buddy of mine that records all the local races around here. State Line Speedway, I work up there for them guys. The Garage Crawl, excuse me. C&J Dairy, and definitely want to rep Squirrel Nation a little bit for them guys for helping me out here.
Once again, Earl, big time congratulations this evening. It's a big race win. I look forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season. Live it up, my man. Go grab a cold beverage, and we'll see you next week.
Absolutely going to. And shout out to PitStop TV. Thank you guys for doing this broadcast. And Corby Daniels for the BRP Dirt Tour. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for the epic action this evening. We'll move you back up. We'll let you celebrate. That was a fantastic race. Fantastic finish. I like his side of things. We'll move things down on then to our second place finisher in epic fashion as well. And I'll hand the mic over to Trey Patton.
Here we have second place finisher Maxime Plant, who finished second. I thought he had it there at the line, 8/1000ths of a second. Maxime, just kind of talk us through how that race went for you. You won the heat race. You started second, kind of went up front a little bit, led 3 laps, and then you threw that slider a little bit after halfway. So kind of just talk us through the thought process going into that slider and just coming to the end.
Yeah, so it's a really good night. Good heat race, but during the final I do a couple mistake. Horrible slide job. Probably everyone saw that, but I missed my slide job, and that scrapped my momentum. And after that, I tried to find something on the bottom, so to pass Travis, and at the end we got a really nice fight, and yes, it's a close finish.
Yeah, you were definitely making that bottom work there at the end. I mean, we took the white flag and we kind of just scratched you out of the equation. We thought you were gone. And then we come into turn 4 and we see you side by side there with Earl Jackson. And like I said, I thought you pulled away with the victory. But just what do you think you could have done a little bit differently just there in between 3 and 4 there on the last lap?
Yeah, I do a couple laps on the bottom, and I hit every time the tires on the bottom, so that car's just pushing a lot on the exit. And at the end, three or 2 laps to go, I tried to be faster on the bottom to keep my second in the first place, to fight for the win. And yes, at the checker flag, we are really close at the end.
All right, man. Well, you've got a win. You got 1 win on the season at Volusia, round number 1. And then you round out tonight in second place. So going into the next race, you've got a pretty decent momentum going into that. But before we let you go, we're going to let you have the floor. And, who makes it happen for you? Who you got to think?
Yeah, so thanks a lot for you guys, the broadcast and the series. It's an amazing series. So thank you a lot. And thanks for the friends, family, and sponsor to stay with me for this season and this summer.
All All right, man. Well, we're gonna let you go, and good luck next week. And we expect you to be pretty fast next week, as you are every week. So we're looking forward to seeing what you got next week, man.
Yes, thank you, sir. Have a good night.
All right, thank you. You as well. That is our second place finisher, Maxine Plant. We're gonna hand it back over to Andrew for Travis Miller.
The thriller, Travis Miller, that is to you. Travis, I can't believe what we saw this evening. That was quite simply epic. And I thought you and Maxime had the best battle we'd ever seen and would ever see in the BRP iRacing series last season with the big block bonds of Volusia. This one might top that. What did it look like from your point of view with the slider on Porter and then the battle with Earl Jackson?
Yeah, I mean, we were running in second there, and I don't know how, but Max was making the bottom work really well at the beginning. And I didn't want to go down there just because I don't think I'd be able to run it as good as he could. And then he slid Porter there, and I went to do the exact same thing because I knew that Porter lost his momentum, but I knew I wasn't going to complete it, so I wanted to leave him a lane up top, but he had already committed to crossing me over, and then he just kind of ran in the back of me, and I kind of felt bad for that, but you got to do what you got to do, and it's momentum's everything when you're running the top at Limaland, so just trying to stay consistent, and yeah, that was about it.
And how about that last lap? I don't think we've ever seen a more chaotic, more exciting, more thrilling final lap at Limaland. It all came down to that last quarter mile. We saw the slider in 1 and 2. What happened on the backstretch and into 3 and 4?
Yeah, I mean, a few laps before that, Max was on the bottom there, and I was just stuck behind Earl, and I couldn't, I was faster than him on the top, but I couldn't cross under him to get a slide job on him earlier because Max was right there. So it was kind of actually really frustrating, but I just kind of bided my time and hoped that something would come up. And then the last lap, I knew I had to go for it. And unfortunately, I clipped my left front tire on the entry to the slider, so I got really tight, and then I just lost all my momentum, and Earl was able to cross back under me, and I just kind of had to hope for the best in 3 and 4, and unfortunately Max got around 2, but when you're trying to win the race, sometimes you come up in 3rd.
Well, it was an epic one again this evening. Who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out as you continue to work on a possible championship run? I mean, you even got your fast time in qualifying, so we'll see if you guys are tied yet again after this one. Yeah,
for sure. I just got to thank Miller's Auto Detailing, you guys for putting this on, Beef for all the stuff that he does, and just Gaston's Auto Sales, my girlfriend for watching, my parents for watching, and yeah, I think that's it.
Well, Travis, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for making that a heck of a show as well. That was fantastic this evening. Best of luck to you next week at Knoxville. We'll see you then.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Travis Miller rounds out the podium, but we're not done there. After everything Jamie Porter had going for him this evening, we've got to catch up with him as well. Trey, I'll hand it over to you.
Jamie Porter, man, you were dominating the race first off. I mean, you pulled away in the heat race, absolutely just put on a clinic there. And we thought you had tonight all racked up. And then that slide job from Maxime Plant, he admitted, he threw it and kind of missed it there. Just kind of talk us through leading up to that slide job and just kind of working yourself back up to 4th.
Yeah, the first part of the race was going really good. Then we had that, I think it was lap 20 caution or something. And I seen the 3 guys that were behind me and got in my head a little bit. But, it's a racing deal. I can't blame Max for that. I probably would have done the same thing, throwing that. After that, once I seen Travis coming down, I knew he wasn't going to be clear, but I already committed to the crossover, and, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, for sure there. I mean, after that kind of that entanglement there with Maxime Plant, you kind of fell back through the field, and did that really upset the car at all, with the handling, just trying to get that back up, trying to maybe get back up to the front? Obviously, you weren't able to get back up there enough, but a 4th place finish is better than nothing, right?
Yeah, no, I was more than happy with it. It might have messed up the handling a little bit, but not enough where it was just more driver error after that than anything.
So with the heck of a run tonight, I mean, other than not the finish you were really looking for, what can you carry from tonight, going into Knoxville next week?
I'm hoping to carry this momentum in. I know Knoxville's not one of my best tracks, so I'm just going to hope for a solid finish like tonight, and can't really ask for anything else.
A solid finish is always something we want to strive for in the racing world, but before we let you go, we're going to let you thank anybody who makes it happen for you.
Yeah, for sure. First off, I'd like to thank Miller's Auto Detailing. Travis helps me out a lot on here, especially with the lines and stuff and everything, where to run. Evergreen Thrift Store, and MDR Designs for giving me a sweet wrap to try and compete with.
Well, we definitely got a lot of action with that sweet paint tonight. Definitely got a lot of TV time, and everybody here knows that you are one to watch out for here in the BRP iRacing series. Congratulations on a great run tonight, and good luck next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that is 4th place finisher Jamie Porter.
And Jamie drove one hell of a race. I'm absolutely gutted for this guy, but excuse me. It certainly, I think, is a great look at what we could expect here from Jamie the rest of the season. Fantastic stuff this evening. This is how, maybe not how close it was. No, that's not quite the finish. We'll keep watching this as we pull up results, though. But I mean, this was just epic watching it all happen live. I'm still absolutely clueless as to how it all worked out so perfectly. Let's take a look at our race results, though, this evening, Trey. Earl Jackson tops them all. And again, 8/1000ths of a second. That is so close. Maxime Plant just that short after everything that happened through those 40 laps of racing. It all came down to the final quarter mile. Travis Miller, he ends up 3rd place this evening. Jamie Porter, like I mentioned, he recovered to 4th. Hunter Holberg was able to get up to 5th. Then you see Hunter Reeve, a couple of Hunters back-to-back, I think once again, this time at Limaland. Gavin Eisel, he finished 7th this evening. Tyler Pachalski, 8th. Tanner Correa, 9th. Randy Giroux, 10th. It was very quiet. We didn't get to talk about a lot of those guys further back, but this race just went by so quickly that we had to stay on those race leaders.
Yeah, those race leaders were definitely having a lot of action, but there was a lot of action going on further back in the field. Adam Hilton finishes 11th, Dean Meitzler 12th. Corby Daniels, fastest in practice, finishes 13th after going up and over there earlier on. 14th, we have Brett Fisher. 15th, we have Richard Pereira. 16th, Patrick Reiser. 17th, our last guy Alan Slight finished in 17th. Last guy on track was Ryder Schrauf.
So 18 cars is how they all finished this evening. 24 laps down there for Ryder. Not quite the run that he wanted. I believe this will be our finish. We thought the 58 had it in the bag. This is what it all came down to. It's even better in slow motion. I still just can't believe that. It doesn't get any closer than that in dirt racing. That was simply fantastic. I want to see if we can watch that one back actually one more time, even slower. I mean, this is just insane. Again, off into turn 3. I honestly thought Earl had the whole field covered at that point. I thought he had walked out to that race win. It wasn't quite the story, though. He gets a little bit loose on the top side. As the car walked up there, the rear started to go faster than the front. Started to come around on him. He mentioned it in his interview, and Maxime Plant dug on the bottom side. This is how close it was. This is insane. That is incredible. And there's the line. That is incredible.
Yeah, you can't ask for a better finish than that on any discipline of motorsport.
No, you can't. I mean, that is simply fantastic. Let's watch it from our speed shot here in slow-mo as well. This is something special. This is a special finish here in the BRP iRacing series. I can't get enough of that. That's incredible. But at some point, we do have to walk away from it. We do have to close out this broadcast. Let's do so first by thanking our partners here in the BRP iRacing series. Of course, Bicknell Racing Products, the namesake of the BRP iRacing series. We can't forget Matt DeRitter Designs, Jam Performance, Costco Haulage, or Miller's Auto Detailing. A lot of fantastic people putting a lot of fantastic effort here in the BRP iRacing series. These broadcasts are brought to you by Tucson Sound Art. Your picture, your music. Use promo code PitStop TV for 10% off at checkout today. These broadcasts also brought to you by Race Pace Setups. Pick up pace with Race Pace. That Discord invite bottom right will get you in and get you feeling good and moving quick too. That is what's most important here on the iRacing.com service. You always want to be moving quickly. Even if it's just for fun, you still want to go fast, you can do so with Race Pace Setups. These broadcasts also brought to you by Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, where you deserve the best care that money can buy. These broadcasts brought to you by Whiplash Media, the official graphic and camera provider of PitStop TV, and also by BAM Racing Videos, by a race fan for the racing community. It was a fantastic one this evening. Trey, I gotta ask, before we go, final thoughts from Limaland.
Honestly, going into tonight, I didn't really know what to expect. You know, I've covered these guys in the past, and it was just kind of different from the last time I hear the format. The format of racing was a little bit different, and honestly, the way it's formatted now, it is very, very organized. So props to the guys here at the BRP iRacing series, and they put on an absolute show. The whole race, you know, from practice was good. The heat racing was phenomenal. The racing was good. Yeah, we had a couple incidents, but man, that finish just makes up for every little slip up, anything. That right there is top tier racing. You can't get better than that.
No, I don't think you can. We've had a few rough races around the edges every once in a while, but I gotta tip my cap to everybody here in the BRP iRacing series. That was epic this evening. That was... I don't know if it's the best. Volusia last season was great. It's one of the two, though. Either Volusia last season or Limaland tonight. Take your pick. Fantastic racing. Even Volusia this season was great as well. I think those are my top 3 races ever that we've had in the BRP iRacing series. So we're adding new ones a whole lot more, especially with these late models. Excuse me. A lot of great racing here with the BRP iRacing series, specifically in this Pro Dirt Late Model Tour, but also Wednesday nights. Make sure you come back Wednesday night for the Asphalt Modified Tour. It's going to be fun there as well. We're going to Watkins Glen International, the one road course on the 8-race schedule. Should be a fun one, but that will conclude our coverage tonight of the BRP Pro Late Model Tour. We at PitStop TV, thank you for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. The channel stays active weekly, and you can catch a variety of racing throughout the coming days and hours. In just a handful of minutes, in fact, a little bit longer than usual. Got about 49 minutes to work with before we go live for the Pacific Challenge, making their return to our double header on Mondays. I can't think of a better way to spend Mondays than doubling up. Motorsport Mondays. We got to call it something. I don't know exactly what the name will be, but we have Pacific Challenge back this evening at Nürburgring with the Porsche GT3 Cup cars. Should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. We've got Eric Brennan and JP Costa on the call. It'll be a fun one. Then again, the next 2 evenings, more road course racing. The Nork iRacing series goes to Road Atlanta tomorrow night before the BRP Asphalt Mods, as I mentioned earlier, go to Watkins Glen. So a lot of road racing this week. We had our first road round with Cross Series League racing on Sunday last night at Spa-Francorchamps. We have road racing later this evening with Pacific Challenge, road racing tomorrow with Nork, road racing Wednesday with BRP, oddly enough. So a lot of road this week. If you're a road racing fan, this is simply the week for you. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/PitStopTV, on Twitter at PitStopTV_, on Instagram at Pit_Stop_TV, on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/Pit_Stop_TV, and on YouTube at www.youtube.com/C/PitStopTV1. For all of PitStop TV, Trey Patton alongside me on the mic this evening, Trey Shuttlesworth over on our social media coverage. My name is Andrew Cardinale IV. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. We will see you next time, hopefully in just about an hour's time for Pacific Challenge. Have a great night.